Oliver and Jumpy by Werner Stacekow. Volume 1. Molly the Mole, Saving Ducky, and Fairy Castle. Is this your first encounter with Oliver and Jumpy? Yes? Then let me tell you about them. Oliver is an elegant tomcat, and Jumpy is his best friend. They are always on the lookout for new adventures together. Oliver lives in a tree house on the mighty oak tree. He is the most famous cat in the country. Molly the Mole by Werner Stacekow. Illustrator Marvin Alonso. Do you like cats? Yes? I'm glad. My name is Oliver. I'm very elegant. I brush my fur every morning and always keep my nails trimmed. Of course, my hat is really cool too. Well, enough of all that talk about me. Although I can never talk too much about myself. Do you think this is wrong? You're probably right, but I can't help it. My best friend's name is Jumpy. She likes to jump a lot because she's a kangaroo. She's a great girl and lets me ride in her pouch. That's a lot of fun. I bet you would like to ride in her pouch too, wouldn't you? I love it, but after a while I need to rest. All that up and down makes me dizzy. It's like being on a roller coaster. One day I was in Jumpy's pouch, happily hopping through the fields. It was a very sunny day, and I wore my white hat and funky sunglasses for sun protection. Jumpy stopped suddenly. It was so unexpected that I fell out of her pouch and bounced down on the ground. Amazingly, I fell very softly, but that softness screamed loudly. I had fallen on a mole. Moles are creatures that live in the ground. Sometimes they come out of their holes. Moles are blind because they do not need eyes below ground. That's why she didn't see us coming. Jumpy had to make an emergency stop. I was saved, but the mole appeared quite unhappy about the disturbance. After I stopped being dizzy from the jumping, I apologized to Molly. She was not really hurt. Then she even became friendly with us. I have just made lunch, she said. Why don't you join me? A kangaroo prefers grass. I find the occasional bug quite tasty, but I don't fancy slimy rainworms. We said, thank you very much, but we are watching our diet. Molly was not unhappy. She could now eat everything herself. Visit me again, but without any accidents next time. After this adventure, we decided to go home and take a nap. I suppose you are having a crunchy bug dinner now. See you later. Are you ready for the next adventure? Saving Ducky by Werner Stacekow. Illustrator Marvin Alonso. I cannot eat birds or mice because I am allergic to them. So whenever I am catching a mouse, I pat her shoulder and say, "Thanks for the chase. Let's do it again sometime." The mouse would then quickly run away, not believing her good luck. I can eat fish. We have a small lake nearby, and sometimes I wait very quietly by the side of the water until a fish swims by. On one of those days, while Jumpy was eating her grassy lunch, I was just about to hook a fish. Suddenly, we heard a very pitiful chirp, 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 which is the sound small ducklings make before their voice changes. The baby duckling was nearby and obviously in trouble. "Jumpy, see what's the problem?" I called. I did not want to scare the duckling even more. She might think I want to eat her. Jumpy said, "Look up!" A big eagle was circling high up in the air, ready to dive down and get himself a baby duckling for dinner. "Quick, Jumpy!" I cried. "Save her!" Now you could hear the mother duck quacking in alarm. She had also realized the danger, but could not help much. Only Jumpy was big enough to scare off the eagle. We were shouting and running and still could not see the chirping baby. Then Jumpy cried out, "She's tangled in the reeds." The eagle started to descend rapidly. We were jumping and running as fast as we could to get there first. Jumpy arrived just in time. "Oh no, you don't," she cried, and boxed the eagle in his side. "You are stealing my lunch," the eagle protested and flew away mad. The duckling was saved, even though she was very frightened. "Quack, quack, quack," called Mummy Duck and Daddy Duck, coming quickly to the side of their baby. Of course, the brothers and sisters named Quick, Quack, Quip, Quop and Squish all arrived as fast as they could. All the ducks were very grateful that Jumpy had saved Quick. They were very noisy, quacking and chirping, but they finally quietened down, and Jumpy explained to them that I was allergic to eating birds, and that they were quite safe with me. So we still had an enjoyable afternoon, with the ducklings having a ride kangaroo style. In the end, some of them would even jump on my back for fun. What a picture! An elegant black cat with ducks on his back. Ducky bye! Everybody loves fairies, do you? Coming up! Fairy Castle by Werner Stesko. Illustrator Marvin Alonso. I was playing in my Thursday golf tournament when Molly arrived. "You have to come right away, Oliver," she said. What could be so important? "You have to see for yourself." I was going to lose anyway. Molly explained that while digging a new tunnel, she had suddenly broken through a wall and fallen into a big cavern. She was scared and did not want to explore it alone. I sent a message to Jumpy. Eventually, we all went together through the tunnel. We were quite scared, especially small Joey. It did not take very long, and we stepped through the hole in the wall into the cavern. The whole ceiling was full of glowworms. One of us kicked a stone, making a loud noise, and something very frightening happened. I thought a storm had begun to blow because lots of things were flying around us, but Molly said that they were bats. We had scared them. Bats are funny creatures that sleep upside down, hanging from the ceiling. They sleep during the day and only come out at night to eat. Most of them eat fruit. Eventually, the bats settled down and we continued our exploration until we arrived at a lake. Many beautiful water lilies covered the surface. Each one was the size of a boat. Unexpectedly, faces could be seen in the center of each flower. "We are the water fairies. Who are you?" they asked. We told them our story. They said, "You are welcome to visit the castle, but you will have to cross the lake first. You can all step into our flowers. We will ferry you across." That was more my style. Elegant transport for an elegant cat. A guide fairy arrived. She came to lead us to the castle. What an unforgettable sight! In the middle of a fertile land stood the glass palace. It reflected the countryside. We walked through the entrance, and many chatty fairies surrounded us. None of them had ever seen a cat or kangaroo before. Then we were greeted by their queen. "Let's dance to celebrate your visit." Fairies like to dance in the air. The queen threw pixie dust over us so that we could fly. What a sight! A cat, two roos, and a mole floating in the air. Fairies dancing in the air, loving life without a care, soaring up into the high, all-embracing mighty sky. Pixie dust to make us fly. 3 of us now also try, floating on the air above. Will we ever have enough? All fun has to end, so farewells were in order. We finally made it home in the dark. What dreams we would have after this adventure! We asked the dream fairy to come to you tonight. Very well. Thank you very much for reading Oliver and Jumpy. You are now a special friend, and you'll be able to take part in all their adventures.